Hello traders, hello everyone, my name is Gregor Horvat and welcome to our new episode Surfing the Elliott Waves, where I will look at some of the most interesting developments for this week. This video has been brought to you by Orbex. I will look at Aussie, Euro, DAX, crude and silver. Now, as you know, Aussie dollar has reached a new low. We have seen a drop below December levels back towards this 0.70 psychological level, where once again the lows from 2020 October proved to be a very nice and important support. You can see that market is now reversing quite aggressively here to the upside, despite this RBI who didn't actually make any changes with rates. They want to see stable inflation between 2 and 3%. For now, inflation is above 3%, so it looks like that they will wait with higher rates, but there are speculations that still sooner or later they will increase rates sometime this year. So from an Elliott wave perspective, we are looking for potential temporary low here. Notice that price is now trying to break this trend line resistance. Of course, daily close price today and obviously stock market will be very important to watch, because if we get the daily close above this trend line, then I think that we will see more upside in sessions ahead, especially after this corrective pullback. So in my opinion, we could see actually a rise into wave C. Now wave C could then belong to this irregular correction in a wave B, which could later be as a triangle or maybe even as a flat if market would revisit this wave A level. So as it looks right now, well, I would not be surprised to see more upside here on Aussie after pullbacks while this low holds here. Now let's take a look also on euro dollar. Now euro dollar is also coming to the downside. Actually, it came to the downside. And what actually is happening here? Well, notice that at the start of January, we have seen euro dollar breaking to a new high, and then it made a sharp reversal. Now we have seen prices breaking to a new low, and again it's making a sharp reversal. So it looks like that there are a lot of shorts that were trying to play a breakout are cleared now, and those who were long had their stops also below that level. So when all of those orders are cleared, well, market makes a very sharp reversal. So it looks like that there is very strong momentum going on right now, and we could even see more upside. Why? Well, notice that here we have a completed, or maybe not completed, maybe it's a little bit early, but still we can count 5 waves down from that highs. Okay, so 5 waves down suggests that that pair can be bottoming, and we are already seeing first evidences of potential bottom, even if just short term, for a 3-wave recovery back to the previous 4th wave termination point. So what will be very important is also to watch and observe the price action on stock market. Well, let's take a look on DAX. Here on DAX, here is a daily chart. Notice that we have very nice and clear ongoing impulse, okay? And what the latest price action from the last few months represent is actually just a sideways pattern. And usually when you see such a slow price action compared to the previous very sharp moves, okay, well, that's typically the pause within uptrend. So I will be expecting more upside here. Potentially this could still play out as a triangle, but overall I think that this wave 5 could see more gains in the next few months. Now if that would really be the case, then we know that this support here around this was around 14,800 is very important one. So as long as this support holds, I will be looking for more upside. And what is interesting here, or very important, is let's take a look what euro dollar has done. Always when this German DAX has seen a recovery away from that support. Well, of course, euro dollar is in a very strong downtrend. It was much more volatile compared to DAX, but notice that swings were happening at the same time. So when DAX here bottom, this was at the end of September, early October, we have seen a recovery on euro dollar, even if just a minor one, while DAX moved back to a new all-time high. Then we have seen another recovery here. This was back in December, when DAX has bottomed and recovered, euro dollar has done the same. So as you can see, we have some very similar swings here. So I would not be surprised to see euro dollar recovering away from current levels, especially if maybe DAX is really going to see more upside into wave 5. As I said, potentially here we could be dealing with a triangle. So maybe euro dollar could also see some more upside, as I said, even back to this former wave 4 here. So watch out for euro dollar to see potentially even more upside. We have some very aggressive intraday bullish price action. In fact, I have here 1 hour time frame chart. Notice that we still do not see a clear 5 waves up, but looks very promising. This is a very strong and an extended lag that is acting impulsively, so ideally this fits to a higher degree 5 wave movement. So I'm expecting and looking for more upside on euro, especially if stocks will be able, especially DAX, if DAX will be holding a support. Now let's take a look also on crude oil. Now crude oil has seen some very nice moves to the upside recently, and this uptrend is still underway. Now before we go to the smaller time frame, well, I'm tracking 2 wave counts still. This could be potentially wave B or ideally wave 5. I really like this second wave count because based on the personality of this current move that take the price back to new highs, well, this looks more like an impulse rather than correction, but you know that wave B should be corrective. So in my opinion, I really think that this count is very valid and we could easily see more upside here into fifth wave. Why? Because wave 5 is a motive wave, so more upside could come after a pullback. And if you look closely here on the 4-hour chart, well, we have some bullish impulses into interpretations here in this third leg of recovery. But as I said, maybe this is wave 3 of 5 rather than wave C. So there is potentially coming some very nice resistance around $89-90 per barrel, but then just be aware potentially this pullback and more upside. Okay, so crude oil for now still remains in uptrend when looking at the higher degree charts, but on the short-term basis, I think that there can be some very important resistance going on around $90 per barrel. You also have this RSI divergence, and if I'm not wrong, back in January, US and China agreed for US to release new oil reserves, and this could potentially again maybe cause some upside here in upcoming weeks or days, because actually they said that they will release those oil reserves around Chinese New Year. Okay, traders, let's take a look also on silver. Okay, so silver is looking at the big picture here, is just consolidating here around or above $20 and $21. So in my opinion, this still looks like a very nice correction that sooner or later could send prices to the upside. Of course, you have to be very patient here when looking at the higher degree charts. But for now, looking at the daily charts, well, maybe there is going to be another retest of the lower side of this wedge pattern. Also, I'm tracking this to be a wave C and the diagonal of this flat correction. So $20 would be ideal support around this lower trend line of this wedge, meaning that we could see in the short term a little bit of more weakness, but then potentially bottoming sometime this year. Now looking at the 4-hour chart, notice that rise from the recent lows was made only by 3 waves with quite strong wave C, but notice that market is now making also much sharper and stronger sell-off. So in my opinion, this could be ongoing 5-wave weakness for a wave C that could retest the low. So after that, I will be looking for potential bottoming formation. But for now, it looks like that these metals could either stay sideways or even bearish in the short term. But on longer term, I still think that strong supports are not far away. Okay, traders, thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you enjoyed this video and talk to you again next week. Bye.